Tech craters, Bitcoin tumbles, and gold doesn't look too bad so far. You're listening to Kitco Roundtable. I'm your host, Michael McCrae. With me is Kitco correspondent Paul Harris. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, Michael. Good morning.
We have no guest. Key economic data this week was Friday's jobs report. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics said 428,000 jobs were created in April. The data beat expectations. Economists were forecasting gains of around 390,000. The gold market is not seeing much reaction off the stronger than expected employment data. As of recording this, June gold futures last traded at $18.87 an ounce. On Wednesday, the Fed announced the big news, a 50 basis point hike, the biggest in 22 years. The US dollar and US Treasury yields all soared this week while there was carnage in the markets. NASDAQ composite was down 22% year to date, while the S&P is down 13%. Bitcoin is also down 23% since December 31st. Gold hasn't been all that bad. The metal is still up around $80 for the year. Winners are the senior gold miners. Barrick and Newmont are both up 20% year to date, while the GDX is just up 2%. Dr. Copper, well, the doctor is doctoring, reflecting concerns about the broader macroeconomic markets. The metal hit a low of $4.28 a pound earlier this week, a 6-month low. Of course, pandemic lockdowns in China are harming copper. Up next, mining, but first, a word from our sponsor. Copper is a new oil, according to Goldman Sachs, and Libero Copper holds a collection of porphyry copper deposits in the Americas in prolific but stable jurisdictions. Libero is focused on its Mocoa property, a copper molybdenum deposit in Colombia. The company's 043 hole at 1,229 meters graded at 0.42% copper and 0.47% molybdenum or 0.058% copper equivalent. The company's focus on environmental social governance will be key to unlocking the project's value. Outside of Mocoa, Libero's portfolio includes Big Red, a new greenfield porphyry copper deposit, and Big Bulk. Both are in the Golden Triangle, Canada. And in Argentina, Libero has Esperanza, a porphyry copper and gold discovery in San Juan. Once again, that's Libero Copper, or LBC, on the Venture Exchange. Paul, what was the news from your side?
Some very interesting news this week, Michael. The highlight for me was Sandstorm Gold, which announced the acquisition of Nomad Royalty and a package of royalties from Glencore affiliate Basecore Metals Royalty, which will propel the company to become the fourth largest royalty streaming company. Sandstorm will acquire Nomad in a $590 million all-stock deal at a 20.6 premium to get a portfolio of 20 royalty and stream assets, of which 7 are currently producing. Sandstorm also agreed to acquire 9 royalties and 1 stream from Basecore Metals for $525 million in cash and stock. This includes a 1.66% net profit interest on the Antamina copper mine in Peru, which Sandstorm also agreed to sell to its strategic partner Horizon Copper, in which it has a 34% equity interest. Sandstorm will retain a lifelong silver stream on Antamina. Sandstorm said the transactions increase its 2022 production guidance by 22% to 80 to 85,000 ounces and its long-term guidance by 55% to 100 to 155,000 ounces in 2025. Also in buying mood this week was specialty chemicals producer Livent, which agreed to double its ownership interest in Nemaska Lithium to 50% by buying out the interest held by the Pallinghurst Group in the Quebec Lithium Partners for 17.5 million shares in a deal valued at $374 million. Following the closure of the transaction, Livent will own 50% of Nemaska, with the remaining 50% owned by Investissement Quebec. Nemaska Lithium imploded a few years ago following cost overruns at the Nemaska Lithium Development Project in Quebec, in Canada. Côté or Costlay. IAMGOLD also reported a cost blowout at its Côté gold mine development in Ontario, in Canada, stating that the remaining costs to take the Côté development to completion could be between $1.2 and $1.3 billion compared to its previous estimate of $710 to $760 million. Unsurprisingly, its share price had a big fall on that day. Barrick Gold announced a new dividend policy with a base dividend of 10 cents per share and a performance dividend of up to 15 cents per share more based on its net cap position each quarter. Its cash position increased this past quarter, despite a 20.4% fall in net earnings compared with the prior year period, as production fell to 990,000 ounces of gold and 101 million pounds of copper. Lundin Gold also announced it will start paying dividends with a maiden dividend of 20 cents per share, which will see it disperse some $100 million annually to its shareholders. The company produced more than 121,000 ounces of gold in the quarter at an all-in sustaining cost of just $696 per ounce. The company also reiterated its guidance for the year of 405 to 445,000 ounces. In Chile, state copper company Codelco reported a 5.7% fall in copper production during the first quarter to March 31st of just 387,000 tons. Also in Chile, the Environmental Assessment Service rejected Anglo American's environmental permit application for the Los Bronces integrated project, which contemplates an underground mine within the mine's existing operating site to extend the mine life from 23 years to 40 years. Los Bronces produced 327,000 tons of copper last year, and the company is looking at how it can proceed with the project and what actions it will take. Finally, to end on a high note, NGX Minerals announced the discovery of a copper-gold porphyry system at the Valle Ancho copper-gold project in Catamarca in Argentina, with a drilling highlight of 597 meters, grading 0.23% copper, 0.37 grams per ton gold, and 1.4 grams per ton silver for a 0.5% copper equivalent at the La Quebrada target.
Let's turn to our number of the week. 3 is my number of the major commodities that are covered by BMO. BMO noted that only 3 are now higher than this time last month. Cobalt is 1, following the force majeure declarations on the back of South African logistics issues. But the real outperformers have been met coal and thermal coal. At present, BMO noted that the thermal market is only set to get tighter over the next couple of months as Chinese buyers step back into the seaborne market and Indian utilities seek additional material as we head to peak summer months. That figure from BMO. And Paul, what's your number?
Well, there's been a lot of quarterly results this week, so my number comes from there. My number is 1,578. To be more precise, $1,578 per ounce. That's the all-in sustaining cost reported by Equinox Gold, one of the highest in the sector amongst the bigger companies, and perhaps surprising for a lot of people. They obviously had a difficult quarter, expect things to come down in the second quarter. However, the highest all-in sustaining cost, as previously reported this quarter, was New Gold at $1,778 per ounce.
That's it for us. Paul, you have a show coming up in Quito, Colombia.
Yes, we're about a month away from CGS Quito on the 6th and 7th of June, a 2-day event looking at gold and copper exploration in Ecuador, featuring projects, the regulatory system, and environmental and social aspects.
You can see Kitco at some of the shows that are going to be coming up. We're going to be at VRIC in Vancouver. We're going to be at Deutsche Goldmesse in Frankfurt. We're also going to be at PDAC, and even an event in Quebec City later in June. Follow Paul at Paul Harris Gold. I'm at Michael McCrae, and that's McCrae with 2 C's. Tell a friend. Don't forget to subscribe. And on behalf of Paul Harris and myself, have a pleasant weekend.